they might be forcing us to panic and decide to pick
Yeah.
our mage. Because maybe NXP might have prepared something for that, knowing that it's only most likely the Eudora or the Kagura left. But, yep, very interesting draft from these two teams. Instinctual kill-focused NXP versus, by the playbook, LPE. It's game number 1,
See
series
what you
1
did there.
of game 2, the MPL.
Of course, this is MPL Philippines Season 7. We are under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board.
And it is going to be an amusing game that we have here. As now you see an aggressive wave cut here by Ryota and BMO. That's a lot of damage onto Ryota right now. That's a lot of weaknesses exposed onto the Esmeralda, but Esmeralda will be able to get away. You see here the positioning of BMO and Yaoi. Really, that's just their job right now. Find the opening, get the information, stay by the bushes. Even if you're going to take a lot of damage,
Oh.
at least you're baiting out some skills.
And H2O, great burst on the Arbs though. It's funny how LPE is acting here, man. They're acting like they're an early game lineup, but they're not really.
Nope.
They're just trying to flex out. They're trying to show NXP that they're not really scared, but
Yeah.
they kind of are.
Yeah, I like this.
I'm
the
sure.
LPE are deciding to go with the flow here. And look at that, Jake the Dog already level 3. Meanwhile, Ryota, again, is going to be forced to go back. But I think he should just stay there to really just get a little bit more experience. As Lancy,
Jake the Dog.
Jake TD, taking a lot of damage. Uranus able to get away. And now we're seeing the power of this pick as to why a lot of teams, especially in MPL and Dreamstar, are prioritizing that. That's just really good sustain. And you got to disrupt really, really well.
It's funny because you also the lane predictions are also right on the docket. We have a what do you call that? We have Esmeralda, of course, on the gold lane. Again, you got Jake the Dog on the on XP lane, and he is just doing what Uranus is supposed to do, which is, of course, manage the early game lanes. Maybe going to jungle might be overstepping it. That he should have gone down there. He should have died there on that invade. Luckily, he didn't. For some miraculous reason, free v1. But then again, that is just a calculated risk. Somehow it did pay off for LPE here. They got some good vision. They got some good information. At least they know where NXP is going from there.
And so now you're seeing here a different story between two lanes, because on the top side with Ryota is getting really put in a tough situation here, because he has to decide now at one point to give up lane control to go back, or to stay in lane to really just hold that down, because he can't let the 1-1 freely farm.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, because of the aggression that you pointed out that JTD brought out, he even went for a third tower lane cut. That's how deep he went to the back lines there of NXP. He has a
Exactly.
little bit more control there.
And again, because of that, BMO on the top side of the map is able to. He knows what to do, because he knows a lot of people are down on bot lane. And again, we still have Aspect farming up really hard here. James behind enemy lines here.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage from the Claude,
Nice
but he'll be
catch.
able to go away. Look at that. James is really low. H2O trying to protect James. James will be able to get away here as Jake the Dog still keeping up the aggression. Doesn't want to give up this fight, but no, H2O might be the one going down here. He turns around, going
No
to
way.
the tower, finds the safety of it. H2O secures the first kill there onto JTD's Uranus. Meanwhile, BMO could be up next. Gets a stun, gets stunned, and gets taken down by NXP. That's a 2-0. Hot start here for NXP and possibly even the first turtle.
And a kill and assist on H2O. That is huge, Reptar. Cannot believe what is happening here. LPE kind of misplayed there on the bot side. Maybe bit off more they can chew.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, because that should have been at least an even footing, but that was all for NXP.
And we saw just now there the effect of the changes onto the turrets, where the damage consecutive target damages on the same target from the turret hurt much more. I feel like if this was their previous patch, JTD might have been able to survive that, but no, he wasn't able to, so he gets taken out here. But yeah, so far, because of the lineup of NXP, we did mention it earlier, NXP might have the better control here in the early game, getting the kills first. Now, and LPE will have to crawl themselves back. It's not too much of a
Not too much,
lead,
right?
though. Like,
Not
they're
too
still
big.
in it.
But then again, we're talking about Roger here, man, who just excels in the early to mid game skirmishes, and when he gets those kills, and gets the assists, he gets a goal. It's very difficult to stop this guy, especially with the lineup that LP has. Very much lacking in hard crowd control.
Yeah, and that's a lot of crowd control, though, onto JTD. already forced to use the consecration just to regen back up and avoid going down. So he's still holding down that lane. The mobility that you mentioned earlier that NXP just has so much of, LP's having a little bit of a hard time catching up to it. And little by little, we're starting to see a little bit of cracks in their armor of holding down the lanes because NXP, they're just everywhere in the map right now.
That's right. And H2O, he's been basically, what do you call this? What's the word I'm looking for? He's been saturated.
Yeah.
Oh, you see what I did there? He's been saturated with gold and experience. Everywhere he walks, he's getting a little bit of a pie, a little piece of the pie here, and it's working out so well for these guys. I don't feel any pressure at all on the NXP side. Meanwhile, on the LPE side of things are getting a little bit tricky. And it's only bound to get trickier from here on out.
Yeah, and LPE have to find a way to adjust their approach to this game right now because both of these teams have really just been trying to play it out from the side lanes. All the action that we've been seeing so far has been on the side lanes. Someone goes for a gank onto the bottom, and then there's going to be a counter gank. Same thing could happen also onto the top lane. So now LPE are sort of trying to play the same game as NXP, but then NXP has the better lineup for this, but Ryota has other plans here as he uses the Falling Star Moon onto Renegade. Renegade able to get away. BMO a little bit too late to the party along with Arvs. So LPE are just a bit of a step behind here in terms of their rotations again because they're not as mobile as NXP.
Yeah, just not as mobile, but we are going to see a bit of a big engage here. BMO, great engagement. They get land C.
Ooh, that
and no resistance at all.
Yeah, no resistance. Gets bursted down.
Weird.
That's a small win that LPE needs here. Now, one thing that we mentioned is that Aspect need not die, and he hasn't gone down yet, as well as H2O. Maybe by the 8th minute or so, do you see Aspect finally having enough items and damage, or will he still need much more time to deal the damage that LPE needs?
Yeah, I feel like Aspect is just taking a lot. If he can get this turtle, yes. But if not, man, there's going to be a bit of an uphill climb still. Great pickup there by LPE, by the way, while that was happening.
Yeah, decided to amp up the aggression. Security
No way!
Away by H2O. The counter is here by LPE. They're going to try to make something out of this, but no, because of the turtle steal from H2O, those are kills for NXP, an objective for NXP, and a bad time coming here for LPE.
This guy's a god.
Yep.
What was that?
It's a
Look
hot
at this
start.
one. There was a shore turtle that went over sideways with just this guy, literally like a boss standing on the side, waiting for the perfect opportunity. No one was going near him. What is this?
H2O, man, hungry like a wolf right now for main objectives. We were saying earlier, NXP, instinctual, kill focus. We're still seeing that, but we're also seeing a little bit more of by the playbook style from NXP, putting a little bit more focus onto the objectives here. Look at them already invading for the purple side, and I think that was stolen. Yes, it was.
Everything.
By H2O. Aspect is having a bad time here. He only has 1 assist and no buzz. This is going to be a fight by LPE. They're going to go for it, but look at that. BMO going straight for H2O. H2O cannot get close, and H2O gets bursted down there by the Eudora. Lancy could be up next. Kagura on the run. The girl with the umbrella. It's raining on you. Able to get away is Lancy. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but it's the carry that goes down on the side of NXP.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about here. LPE definitely is on high pressure alert, but in the end, they are aware that they should be. This is the expected turnout of their lineup. As I said before, you gotta hunker down here because they're not going anywhere anytime soon. But they are doing it in a step in the right direction. They took care of H2O, who has been running unchecked all over the map for the last 6 minutes of the game, and finally got some control on their side.
Yeah, LPE starting to realize, okay, we need to amp up our tempo a bit now. We can't just follow to the tune of NXP's music here. We have to make our own songs, and so far, there's little by little clawing back into this. Just a 1k gold lead now here for NXP. Towers are tied up, but this is going to be bad news for LPE. They decide to trade the turtle for the tower. Is this the right call?
No, man, because they are going to go for James, which is buying so much time anyway before that bottom lane turret won't go down,
Oh,
and
no.
it's gonna have to be a big fight here.
The final blow gets brought out there. NXP look for the counter. That's going to be 1 kill for NXP. Aspect could be up next. That's 2 down on the side of LPE and NXP. The counter play is real. A shutdown there for H2O as Land C spots out Jake the Dog, and it's only JTD and Ryota left here. Great call there by NXP, and you said it best. James just bought so much time for NXP to go for the counter.
Yep, and then H2O still got some good amount of damage output here with the Lycan Pounds finishing it up. Tower is going to be an easy target, might be too. We'll have to find out.
Will they go for it? No, they decide to ease it up a bit. They decide, you know what, LPE are back. They're off their respawn, so maybe we shouldn't take this fight. LPE now, though, what do you think the recipe should be for them to make a comeback here?
I know, just make some forward advances to give our Aspect some space, but it's just so difficult, man. At the same time, James is just unchecked on the field as well. They've been focusing so much on H2O now in the past few minutes that they're forgetting the other members, such as the Wan and Renegade, just making such short work of towers here.
And I think LPE wanted to trade that bottom first tier for that top first tier to break down NXP, but then Jake the Dog, I think, seems like he was the one who called for it, that this could be really bad. But NXP decided to ease up the pressure on that bottom tower. They forced LPE to just react to basically nothing.
Yeah, they seem to be getting played each and every time around the map. It's like NXP is willing to trade, but not really. They're just gonna take stuff.
Yeah.
And LPE is not getting anything in return.
They can't be too reactive right now to NXP. And something that our panel, Butters and Naomi, mentioned earlier is that teams in the MPL have that factor of aggression against NXP, but the aggression right now is getting brought out by LPE as they take down Yawi. No main tank here. Aspect taking a lot of damage. He's forced to BMI back. He has his orange buff. That was way too close.
Way too close for comfort. There was also a possibility that the Lycan Pounds would have carried over to him.
Yeah, all the way
all
there.
the way back to the BMI, but luckily for him it didn't, but could have been.
At JTD now, let's see if the weaknesses are spotted. Renegade just waiting for the right time to use that ultimate, but look at that, Uranus just eating up all the damage. Renegade is dishing out. Here comes the ultimate, but it's not enough. Renegade did his absolute best.
Okay.
But Jake the Dog says, you know what, I'm gonna hold it down.
Hold it down. Some really slick moves there as well from Renegade. I really like it, and NXP is just playing with no pressure. You can feel it, right? Like, they're just doing anything they want to do on the map. They're doing some risky moves, but they're not getting punished at all.
And Bimo spots out Yawi. That's going to be 1 versus 1 between the two tanks here, and both teams back off. That thing you mentioned about NXP being a little bit more, not carefree, but more relaxed in a way.
Yeah.
Not overly pressured. That's the type of coaching Doggy wanted to have for his team to not... It's like he told them, don't overthink the
chill,
game.
right.
Just trust in yourselves. And you're starting to see it. NXP are trusting themselves individually, and they're just firing from every cylinder. Like, the chemistry is really there for them.
Yeah, and I would say that instinct-based gameplay, it works out here, where LPE doesn't seem to be... There's only one thing that they have in their minds. The only thing in their minds is that we gotta draw this out.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want, guys. Just don't die. Don't give kills to H2O, and just give Aspect form. It's working out. The instinct play is working out against that. But then again, they just need time here. What's the timer that you're thinking here? Because there should be something that we have to look at. If Execution has 18 minutes.
Well, I feel like if Claude doesn't have the right items yet by the 15th minute, you could spell the end for them within the next 3 after that. But
So we won't even reach 18 minutes.
Yeah, we won't reach the 18 minutes. Or at max, it's going to be 18 here.
Yeah, if Aspect doesn't get the items.
If he doesn't get the items. But if Aspect gets his items, we could be here for a long time, man. We could be here for a long time.
Man, I'm actually very excited to see what the items for Aspect will. Can we request for an item check when we get back in? Because right now, that's all that matters. And putting all the eggs in one basket, I think, is working out very badly for LPE right now. It's their draft, it's their win condition, and they're losing out slowly.
But what I like about LPE is they're not playing this too defensively. As you get the item check there, he only has the Demon Hunter
Oh,
sword.
okay, thank you.
Still on the way to the Golden Staff. Only the Raptor Machete and the DHS for him. Meanwhile, look at that. Already 8.2k here.
Oh my
For
god.
H2 already has the
Jeez.
endless battle of the Wind
Wrote to
Talker.
4 items already.
Yeah.
He's going 5 items.
Okay, so
And,
I guess you could say it's 4 minutes away, maybe, until LPE. If Aspect, okay, Aspect at least finally got the Golden Staff.
I'm getting your timer on right now. 11 minutes, 11 and a half minutes. And we'll have to wait and see if they kind of agree with us, because if we get to the DHS Golden Staff, there's going to be some damage at least for Aspect. Maybe they can try to go for something. But for the meantime, it doesn't look like there's anything happening for LPE. And H2O is so confident, he's even dancing around with the Lord already.
Yeah, just going for the free hits. BMO, not sure if he knows Yaoi and James are there. Ooh, what a flame shot, already bursting down Arps. Arps is going to be forced to go back. What a play by NXP. They smelled blood and went for the dive all the way to that purple buff, taking out Arps. That's a lot of damage gone. Now, on the side of LPE as NXP with the Enhanced Lord are going to be going for this. Jake the Dog and BMO trying to buy time here as Ryota is coming from the middle, but I don't think that's going to be enough time to turn it around. Look at that, NXP
Okay.
fighting it out. JTD gets mega killed there by 1-1. Renegade 4-0 and 4 right now as NXP will get this Enhanced Lord. Of course, all of that started by that beautiful pickoff there by NXP.
Yeah, the guy who's supposed to do the bursting just got bursted for
Yep.
LPE. Eudora taken out in a blink of an eye, which resulted in a very good team fight there for NXP, reaping so many rewards. I don't know, LPE is going to start to lose towers here very soon, especially with the push on the Lord. If they don't deal with the Lord, this is going to be a G push. At the same time, I think NXP, what they can do, they try to go for a mid lane push, just like a Lord, like go for a Death Ball.
Yeah.
And there's very little that LPE can do about it.
Yeah, most likely though, guess what you're trying to say here is that LPE will just lose a lot no matter what.
Yeah, it's a free lane push instead. So, good luck to LPE, man. Game 1 starting to look like it's going to go out of the ballpark.
Yeah, as LPE desperately are going to try to defend this. There's action in the bottom lane as Jake the Dog takes a lot of damage. Right now, he's really just a sponge for the damage that NXP is bringing out, but LPE doesn't have enough damage to dish out. That is the equivalent of what damage is getting done to JTD. Look at that. Yeah, he's already
go.
deep in. That Lord is about to go down. Ryota takes a lot of damage. Ultimates already have been committed. Here comes the Blazing Duet. James could be up next, but no!
Oh.
The Winter Truncheon keeps him alive, and James able to get away. Aspect gets bursted down. That really did look like a great play by Aspect, but that was just an even greater response defensively by NXP.
And the moment Aspect went down, LPE's defense starting to look a lot less solid here. We're coming in, Yaoi with the plays. Oh!
Oh no, look at that. The ultimate already popped by
Big
BMO.
miss.
Jake the Dog gets taken out, but that's going to be a return kill there by Arbs. James going straight to the back there. Let's see if he'll be able to make something out of this, or I think he'll just disrupt this out. And yeah, you said it, Ragar. They lost a lot here. It's only that middle inhibitor left. Both side lane inhibitors have been broken.
And I don't know how long LPE can hold on for. And they're definitely respecting the timer that you gave them. Items wise, LPE is not going to have enough to go for a big fight. So they are going to have to stay around the mid lane, stay around the base. They're running out of time here. How well off is H2O right now? 5-1-4 on Roger. Renegade as well, not even suffering any deaths from the laning, from the mid lane, mid game.
Yeah, and I like what we're seeing here. It's the 3 members of NXP that got retained, leading the way for the new blood of James and Lancey, where H2O, Renegade, and Yaoi are saying, we've been here before, this isn't our first MPL, we'll show you how it's done. And they're setting a great example for their teammates.
Yep, I really like the Tank Benedetta by Yaoi as well, man. A lot of people were saying he's stuck with Kufra last season. Right now, though, he's making a statement that he's going to be able to make some stuff work with other heroes as well.
And it worked really, really well in this game as NXP. You see them positioning themselves in a way where they're just trying to see if anyone from LPE will overstep by just a little bit, get a pick off. From that one pick off, if they didn't commit too much, they could go for the GG push. But then LPE aren't showing that, so NXP, we're really just waiting for the next Lord here, and this Lord push could be the final one to win it for NXP unless somehow LPE find a way to surprise us all and just reverse it on the top of the heads of NXP.
Honestly, I'm actually surprised right now. You know why? Usually NXP would play for kills each and every turn of the game. They're becoming a lot more reserved. They're becoming a lot more calculated now. They're not going for anything. Like, you would expect them after a big advantage to go fight again. But no, they're waiting for the Lord. They are controlling the waves. We did not see this level of discipline from these guys in the previous season.
Yeah, in the previous season, you could honestly say
Fight, fight, fight.
yeah, fight. You were watching kids who are just really great at ML playing the MPL, but now this time they really learned a lot from their first season, and
Yeah.
you could see it here. You pointed it out. Let's see though if they can get this Lord, as LPE are gonna look to try to contest this. Nope, actually no, they won't be able to.
A lot more reserved.
Yeah, based on the health of the Lord, they will not be able to.
I don't think they will be able
Yeah.
to. Plus, not to mention, our aspects starting to get into the groove here. At least I think he's on the road to 4 or 5 items already as well. So there's going to be some damage on that Blazing Duet, and NXP, they're aware. Which is very funny because now they don't want to go head-to-head right away. They're going for the big objectives, and it is a very good look for NXP.
Yeah, James's position here on the Alice is going to be crucial. If ever they get into a situation where it looks good for Aspect to come in with the Blazing Duet, then James is going to be sort of like, it's the bait. Because when you see the Alice and you see Alice nearby to the other teammates, you're gonna think, I'm gonna jump this because I could burn down this Alice. But then he has that Winter Truncheon.
Yeah, and to be honest, for their first time in the MPL, for their first time, Lancey and James, not bad.
Yeah.
You know, they're adding value to their team despite the obviously lower gold net worth. They are doing the jobs, baiting out the skills, making sure that the skills are not available to go into H2O.
Yes,
Enabling H2O to make the plays indirectly.
And that's something that you really like to see in new players coming into the MPL. That idea that you're given a role, you're given a job to do, and you just do it. Even if you're not, look at that, James isn't even on the kill board that much.
Yeah.
He's 0, 2, and 3. But we felt the effects
The
recently
presence
with
is
this Alice.
there.
Yeah, the presence is there.
Exactly, he's doing some good damage, and I think he's just giving the kills over to H2O. I don't know. I haven't really seen a big fight for like 4 minutes now, which is might be a record for NXP already. But we'll have to double check later. But again, they are doing the right things to do here. Waiting for the Lord. It's gonna go on top side. Surprisingly, mid is still pretty much LPE controlled as well. We'll see.
Yeah, and what hurts here for LPE, if you were able to catch that on your screens, is that Aspect is only about to hit 10K in his gold. And we're already getting close to the 18-minute mark of the game. It just goes to show how much he was suffocated out of his own jungle, and this could be the GG push.
Just for contrast, that's the lowest gold on the side of NXP. Highest gold in LPE, lowest gold in NXP.
And that really hurts, and let's see how much is this going to hurt. Can they defend this? Can they hold on? As all the ultimates, all the skills have been dished out. The setup by James with the Blood Ode, and look at that, NXP, it was, and it is, the final GG push, securing the first game victory.